What's going on there, YouTube? And welcome back to another comic book video. Alright guys, so it's time for us to jump back into more Marvel comics. And today guys, I want to pick up with New Avengers Volume 1. And the reason why I want to cover this book right here guys, is because last month we covered Marvel Siege. And we wrapped up the event last month. And the thing is though, I want to do stories that took place after Marvel Siege. And so last week we covered Avengers, and this week we're going to cover New Avengers Volume 1. Now guys, after Marvel Siege, Marvel released 4 different titles with the Avengers banner. We had Avengers, New Avengers, Secret Avengers, and also had Avengers Academy. And so today guys, we're going to cover New Avengers Volume 1. We already covered Avengers Volume 1, but today we're going to cover New Avengers Volume 1. And next week, we're going to cover the Secret Avengers Volume 1 storyline. But yeah, we're going to cover all 4 different Avengers titles if we can. But anyways guys, let's go ahead and jump into New Avengers Volume 1. Now guys, when it comes to New Avengers Volume 1, with this book right here guys, we pick up with Doctor Strange meeting up with a character named Damien Hellstorm. Now, Damien Hellstorm tells Doctor Strange that some evil force was able to crawl through the barrier between the magic world and the real world, because the barrier between the two worlds is weak right now. Now, you do have Doctor Strange say, yes, I have realized that some kind of evil force was able to crawl through the barrier into the real world, leaving the magic world behind. The question is though, how was it able to crawl through that barrier? And the thing is though, right after Doctor Strange says that, he does get attacked from behind by Damien Hellstorm. And we come to find out is that Damien Hellstorm is being possessed by this evil force. Now, we do jump over to Steve Rogers, Luke Cage, and Tony Stark, because Steve Rogers is now the leader of S.H.I.E.L.D. After Marvel Siege, the American government told Steve Rogers that he will be the new leader of S.H.I.E.L.D. And so with him being the new leader of S.H.I.E.L.D., he wants multiple Avengers teams across the world. And so we already covered the main Avengers. But the thing is, he is meeting up with Luke Cage, and he's asking Luke Cage to run his own personal Avengers team. Now, Luke Cage is mad at Steve Rogers because he is seeing Steve Rogers working alongside with Tony Stark. And the thing is though, not too long ago, Tony Stark, Steve Rogers, they were battling each other in a storyline called Civil War, a big Marvel event. And the thing is though, superheroes chose sides between Tony Stark or Steve Rogers. And the thing is though, Luke Cage chose Steve Rogers' side, and Tony Stark did so many bad things to Steve Rogers, to Luke Cage, and to their friends. Luke Cage can't believe that Steve Rogers is going to work alongside with Tony Stark. Now, you do have Steve Rogers tell Luke, listen, that is all in the past now. We have to move forward. The world still needs Avengers, and we can't protect the world if we are fighting one another. And so for us to protect the world, we have to work together. And so you have Steve Rogers say, listen, Luke, I didn't come here to talk to you about me and Tony. I came here to talk to you about you running your own superhero team, your own Avengers. And the thing is though, you do not have to answer to me at all. I will not dictate how you should run your team. You are a free man, and this is your team. Now, you do have Tony Stark say also, to make sure that you're not mad at me anymore, give me $1. If you give me $1, I will hand over Avengers Mansion to you. That will be your base for your own Avengers team. And of course, you have Luke Cage take up this offer. Now, we do jump over to Brother Voodoo. And the thing is though, guys, right now, Brother Voodoo is currently the Sorcerer of Supreme. Back in the year 2010, guys, Marvel sat down and said, you know what'd be a good idea? If we remove Doctor Strange and replace him with Brother Voodoo as the Sorcerer of Supreme. And the reason why Marvel did that is because Marvel was hoping that with him being the new Sorcerer of Supreme, he'll become a more popular character in the eyes of the fans. The problem is though, fans still did not care for Brother Voodoo. Now, you do have Brother Voodoo right now just meditating. And the thing is though, his brother walks in and they start to argue. Now real quick guys, his brother Daniel is not alive at all. Matter of fact, his brother is dead. But his brother hangs around Brother Voodoo the whole time throughout this story. And so Daniel is not a real person. Daniel is just a spirit. Now, while you have Daniel and Brother Voodoo arguing with one another, you do have Doctor Strange and Daniel Hellstorm walk into Brother Voodoo's home. And right off the bat, Doctor Strange realized that his two oldest friends, Hellstorm and Doctor Strange, are being possessed by some evil force. Now, you do have Doctor Strange tell Brother Voodoo that he needs the eye of Agamotto, and I really hope I pronounced that correctly. But you do have Doctor Strange tell Brother Voodoo that I need the eye of Agamotto from you. But the thing is though, you have Brother Voodoo realize that his two friends are being possessed by some evil force. And so of course, he does say no to them. Now, Doctor Strange and Hellstorm, they do start to attack Brother Voodoo to get the eye of Agamotto from him. Now, we do jump back over to Luke Cage, Jessica Jones, and Iron Fist walking into the Avengers Mansion, their new home, their new base for their own personal Avengers team. The thing is though, as soon as they walk into the house, they do get attacked by a character named Victoria Hand. Now guys, I have mentioned this character before on my channel, but the thing is though, Victoria Hand was the right-hand person for Norman Osborn when he was the leader of S.H.I.E.L.D. Sorry, not leader of S.H.I.E.L.D., the leader of Hammer, the thing he made to replace S.H.I.E.L.D. But the thing is though, Victoria Hand was the right-hand man for Norman Osborn back in the Marvel Siege event. Now, the thing is though, Steve Rogers felt like she was a good person and she's able to redeem herself. And so what Steve Rogers did was he said, listen, I want you to be an advisor for Luke Cage in his own Avengers team. And so I am going to place you in the Avengers Mansion to work alongside with Luke Cage, Jessica Jones, and Iron Fist. You are going to be their own little personal advisor. Now at first, Luke Cage is saying no to this, but then he's saying, you know what? If Steve Rogers feels like she can be a good person for our team, then I will let her stay here. And since Wolverine is going to vouch for her, then yes, she can stay here as long as she's not trying to be a bad person. Now, we do jump forward in time. And the thing is though, we pick up to the new Avengers having their first dinner. And the thing is though, guys, this is Brian Michael Bendis saying this is going to be the team of the new Avengers. Luke Cage, Jessica Jones, Iron Fist, The Thing, Mockingbird, Wolverine, and Spider-Man. Now the thing is though, while they're having dinner and everything, out of nowhere, the eye of Agamotto appears right in front of Luke Cage. And it's kind of like, what in the world is this doing here? This belongs to Doctor Strange. But the thing is though, as soon as they try to pick it up, Doctor Strange and Damian Hellstorm appear. But the thing is, gotta remember, these two guys are still possessed by this unknown evil force. And the thing is though, right now, these two characters are about to attack the new Avengers to get the eye of Agamotto. But the thing is though, when Luke Cage picks up the eye of Agamotto, something takes over his body. Now guys, when it comes to New Avengers Chapter 2, with this book right here though guys, we come to find out that basically the same evil force that possessed Doctor Strange and Damian Hellstorm back in Chapter 1 is also currently possessing Luke Cage. And the thing is though, with all three characters being possessed by the same evil spirit, they all want the same thing, the eye of Agamotto. Now, you do have Iron Fist tell the rest of the new Avengers that we should try to keep the eye of Agamotto away from them, because if these three characters get the eye of Agamotto, I'm pretty sure something bad is going to happen on Earth. So we need to keep the eye of Agamotto away from our friends. Now, you do have Jessica Jones punch Luke Cage right in the face so hard that he flies out of Avengers Mansion. And the thing is though, she tells the new Avengers that we need to split up into two teams. One team stays here and fights against Doctor Strange and Damian Hellstorm, while the rest of us go fight against my husband, Luke Cage. Now, the problem is though, only Wolverine and Spider-Man stay behind to fight against Doctor Strange and Damian Hellstorm, while the rest of the new Avengers go fight against Luke Cage in the park that he was hit into near the Avengers Mansion. Now, luckily for Wolverine, he was able to free the demons that were possessing Doctor Strange and Damian Hellstorm by just stabbing them. Like basically Wolverine just stabbing them was able to get rid of the demons inside Doctor Strange and Damian Hellstorm. Now, you do have Doctor Strange heal himself up, but also heal up Damian Hellstorm and tell Spider-Man and Wolverine that we need to go after Luke Cage and stop him, because if he's able to get the eye of Agamotto for that evil spirit, it's going to be hell on Earth. So we need to go over there and stop Luke Cage. Now, you do have the rest of the new Avengers at the park fighting against Luke Cage and making sure he does not get the eye of Agamotto. The problem is though, you do have the eye of Agamotto fall in the hands of Iron Fist. And the problem is though, when the demon sees that Iron Fist has the eye of Agamotto in his hand, the demon leaves Luke Cage's body and starts to possess Iron Fist instead, and says, you know what, now I have his body and I have this eye of Agamotto, I can begin my plan. The problem is though, Brother Voodoo appears at the very last second, and that tells us the readers that he did survive the fight against Doctor Strange and Damian Hellstorm back in Chapter 1. The problem is though, when he appears, Brother Voodoo does some kind of magic spell that basically banished Iron Fist and the Eye of Agamotto off the plane of the Earth, meaning that Iron Fist in the Eye of Agamotto just got teleported into the magic world. And the thing is though, Damian Hellstorm saw Brother Voodoo do that, and you have Hellstorm tell Brother Voodoo that you just made the biggest mistake in the world. By banishing Iron Fist and the Eye of Agamotto, you just banished them both into the magic world, which is giving the bad guys what they want, the Eye of Agamotto. Now, to wrap up this book right here, the new Avengers do look up into the sky and they see the sky is on fire, which means the barrier between the magic world and the real world is completely broken, and everything from the magic world is coming through into the real world. Now guys, when it comes to New Avengers Chapter 3, with this book right here guys, we do pick up with basically the new Avengers right now looking into the sky and realizing that hell is literally on Earth right now. That hell is literally on Earth because you have all these different kinds of magical creatures right now hitting the Earth. And the thing is though, these magical creatures are destroying the Earth left and right. And so you have Doctor Strange say, okay, we only have one option right now. We need every single superhero who does not have magical powers to stay here and fight these magical creatures while Brother Voodoo, Damian Hellstorm, and I leave just temporarily to figure out what in the world is going on right now. And so you have the new Avengers fight against the magical creatures while our three magical characters, Damian Hellstorm, Doctor Strange, and Brother Voodoo, leave to go figure out what in the world could possibly be going on and who is trying to destroy the Earth right now. Now, we do jump over to Brother Voodoo's place with Doctor Strange, Brother Voodoo, and Damian Hellstorm. And the thing is though, you have these three these three heroes sit down and look over different kinds of notes to figure out who in the world is trying to invade the Earth right now. Now the problem is though guys, you have the three heroes start to argue with one another because Damian Hellstorm does not like Brother Voodoo, and also Brother Voodoo doesn't like Damian Hellstorm, and so they start to argue with one another. But also because you have Doctor Strange say it could be this being right here, but you have one of the other two characters say, no, I think you're wrong. It's not one of those two creatures at all. And so they are arguing with one another to figure out who in the world is trying to invade the Earth right now. Now, we do jump over to Iron Fist. And the thing is though guys, we come to find out after Brother Voodoo had banished Iron Fist and the Eye of Agamotto into the magic world, Iron Fist did not die. He survived. And the thing is, the only reason he survived because he is the Iron Fist. And the thing is though, when he gets there, he does have all these different kinds of spirits talking to him, kind of like, listen, just hand over the Eye of Agamotto to us. You can trust us. We're not here to harm you guys. We're here to protect you guys. But the thing is though, you have Iron Fist kind of like, no, I am not going to hand over the Eye of Agamotto over to you because I don't know who you are. You can say you're a good person all you want, but in reality, from my knowledge, anything from the magic world is usually a bad thing. And so Iron Fist keeps telling them no. But the thing is though, to wrap up chapter 3, you do have this one spirit walk up to Iron Fist and he says, listen, I am the man who taught Doctor Strange everything he knows. And everything he knows, I taught him. That's right. But what he's doing right now is wrong. And what he's doing could be the end of the Earth. I am the original master of the Eye of Agamotto. Now guys, when it comes to New Avengers Chapter 4, with this book right here guys, we do pick up with the fact that the Avengers are still trying to fight against the magical creatures from the magical world. Now, the big problem is though, the Avengers are fighting an endless battle. And what I mean is that as soon as they take care of one demon from the magic world, more and more appear to take the place of a lost brother. And so they are fighting an endless battle. Now, this battle does go on for a good period of time. Now, while the Avengers are trying to fight against the magical creatures, we do jump over to Doctor Strange, Brother Voodoo, and also Damien Hellstorm still trying to figure out what in the world is going on and what can they do to basically save the world from the magical creatures. Now, we only see these three characters only temporarily in chapter 4 for right now, because we now have to jump back over to the New Avengers once again, still fighting against the creatures from the magic world. Now, you do have Carol Danvers, who is also on the New Avengers roster. She thinks that she'll be able to close the barrier if she just get close enough to close the barrier between the magic world and the human world. The problem is though, as soon as she flies into the barrier, she is frozen between the two barriers and it starts to kill her piece by piece. Now, luckily, Doctor Strange was watching the battle between the Avengers and the magical creatures, and he realized that Carol Danvers just made a huge mistake by trying to close a barrier between the magic world and the real world. And so he had to leave Damien Hellstorm behind and Brother Voodoo behind and go to Carol Danvers and pull her astral body out of her own body to save her life before she gets ripped apart by the barrier. Now, of course, after saving her life and everything and bring her back to the ground, the fire in the sky, the hellstorm in the sky or whatever, it starts to send out light beams down from the sky, and then basically the fire in the air just disappears. The fire in the air disappears, and then the light beam, the last single light beam to hit the ground before the fire in the sky disappears, Iron Fist reappears in front of his friends. Now, with Iron Fist appearing in front of his friends and everything, you have everybody wondering how is he still alive, because the last time our hero saw Iron Fist, Brother Voodoo basically banished Iron Fist and the Eye of Agamotto into the magic world, made him believe that he killed Iron Fist. But Iron Fist saying, no, I'm still alive, they let me go, and they told me everything. Now, you do have Doctor Strange want to know what in the world he's talking about. But the thing is though, Iron Fist punched Doctor Strange right in the face and says, your master told me everything. He told me everything about you. He told me you took this from him. And he told me that all of this is your fault. And you know what? I believe him. And that wraps up chapter 4. Now guys, when it comes to New Avengers chapter 5, with this book right here guys, we do pick up in the past. And the reason why is because Brian Michael Bendis used this book right here as a way to explain the history of the Eye of Agamotto. And what I mean is that we pick up in the past with a character named Rasputin. And the thing is though guys, Rasputin is right now in this random warehouse trying to hire the Hand, an evil organization in Marvel Comics, to go assassinate Doctor Strange to get the Eye of Agamotto. The thing is though, you have one of the members of the Hand as Rasputin. What is the Eye of Agamotto and who is Agamotto? And the thing is though, you have Rasputin say, I have no idea who is Agamotto, but I want the Eye of Agamotto. And the thing is though, you have Wong, Doctor Strange's assistant, walk out and basically give us the history of the Eye of Agamotto. Wong says, listen, the Eye of Agamotto belonged to Agamotto himself. And the thing is though, he was one of the 3 most powerful mystical entities in the universe. I mean, he still is, but he is one of the top 3. And the thing is though, when he left Earth, he says, here's a gift for you guys to use. But it is only passed on by the Sorcerer Supreme to the next Sorcerer Supreme, which means you cannot just grab the Eye of Agamotto and claim it for yourself. It has to be passed down by the Sorcerer of Supreme to the next Sorcerer Supreme. You cannot just claim it for yourself. It has to be passed on to you. Now, we do jump over to New Orleans. We jump over to the magical world. And the thing is though, Daniel, the brother of Brother Voodoo, is right now in the magical world. Guys, remember, back in chapter 1, I explained that Brother Voodoo's brother, Daniel, is dead. He is a spirit who basically hunts his own brother. But the thing is though, when Brother Voodoo banished Iron Fist and the Eye of Agamotto to the magic world, he also banished his own brother on accident. And the thing is though, Daniel is calling out for his brother to come save him from the magical world. Now, we do jump over to New York. And the thing is though, guys, you have Doctor Strange explain to Iron Fist and everybody in the room that what Iron Fist saw in the magic world was a lie. That was not Doctor Strange master. It was not the Sorcerer Supreme before Doctor Strange. It was somebody else, because they are trying to lie to you, Iron Fist, so that you will hand over the Eye of Agamotto, because they want the eye that bad. They will do anything to get to you. They will lie to you and trick you just to hand over the eye to them. I'm trying to tell you the truth. That was not my master. Now, you do have Spider-Man kind of say, what if the person behind all of this is Agamotto himself? And as soon as Spider-Man says that, Doctor Strange, Daniel Hellstorm, and everybody else in the room kind of looked at Doctor Strange and kind of like, dude, Spider-Man's right. What if it is Agamotto himself? And that's when Agamotto appears, but appears in a tiger form and says, yes, I am the person behind all of this, and I want my eye back. The reason why I did all of this, so I can get my eye back from you. Give me my eye. Now, you do have Doctor Strange say, no, I will not do that. And the thing is though, you have Agamotto do 2 things. The first thing is, he tells Doctor Strange, listen, the Vigilantes are all gone. I am the last powerful mythical entity in the universe right now. But also, I'm going to take over every single person body in this room, and they're going to fight against you, so you will hand over the Eye of Agamotto. And the thing is though, right when he does that, Brother Voodoo appears and he removes Agamotto out of every single person's body and says, no, you will not possess our friends ever again. Matter of fact, to finally end this, I challenge you to a duel. I challenge you to a duel, Agamotto, to make sure that if I win, you will leave the earth alone. And so Agamotto accepts Brother Voodoo's duel, and he leaves and he waits for Brother Voodoo. And the thing is though, Brother Voodoo says, I got an idea. If we're going to beat Agamotto, we need to combine all our powers together into one person to fight against him. Now, Wolverine steps up and says, I'll do it, because I have a healing factor and I can take almost any kind of hits around the world. Go ahead and combine all our powers into me, and I'll become the vessel to fight against Agamotto in this magical battle. And so to wrap up chapter 5, you do have Brother Voodoo get everybody to surround Wolverine, and basically sends all their powers into Wolverine. And Wolverine is basically now holding every single power of the new Avengers. Matter of fact, guys, he looks so cool. He has the Iron Fist symbol on his chest. And he says, "Let's go. I am ready to fight against Agamotto himself." Now, guys, when it comes to New Avengers Volume 1, the final chapter, with this book right here, we do pick up with Wolverine fighting against Agamotto in this ultimate magical duel. Now, guys, real quick, this duel does last throughout most of the book. It does last out through most of the book because Wolverine is trying to fight against Agamotto. The problem is, though, guys, Agamotto is a very powerful being. And so even though Wolverine is a vessel for this fight and he does have everybody's powers inside of him, he is still not strong enough to fight against one of the three most powerful beings in the Marvel Universe. One of the three most powerful magical beings in the Marvel Universe. And so right now, Wolverine is losing this battle. He is losing this battle against Agamotto. Now, you do have Daniel Drum, the brother of Brother Voodoo, appear in front of the duel. And the problem is, though, with Daniel Drum appearing in front of Wolverine and Agamotto himself, Agamotto gets mad because when you challenge a duel between any magical person, only 2 people are allowed to be in the arena. And so with Daniel Drum being there in the battle, you have Agamotto get upset because he believes that this is some kind of scheme the Avengers are trying to do against him. And so Agamotto starts to rip up Wolverine and Daniel to pieces, basically trying to kill both Daniel and Wolverine because the ancient rule is broken of this duel. Now, Brother Voodoo sees that his own brother is being torn apart by Agamotto. And so what Brother Voodoo does, he goes into the arena also, and he basically sacrifices himself in the eye of Agamotto to basically defeat Agamotto himself, basically killing himself and killing the Eye Agamotto. To save Wolverine, to save his own brother, he sacrificed himself to save the whole world also. And so that really wraps up Volume 1 of New Avengers, because after he did that, the world goes back to normal. You do have Daniel Drum temporarily possess Luke Cage's body, and he is upset at Doctor Strange because he blames Doctor Strange for all of this for happening. But you do have Daniel Drum leave Luke Cage's body, and you have Hellstorm realize that a close friend just died. Brother Voodoo is dead right now in Marvel Comics. But anyways, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up today's video. Please leave me a like down below and also subscribe for more comic book videos down the road. Also, guys, if you have any suggestions on books I should read, let me know in the comments below. But anyways, guys, I'm out of here, and I'll see you on the next comic book video.